Okay, got the stream going. Let's send out the tweets. Make sure that everything's connected. And we should be good. Hello everyone, this is Chris Ingerson, and it is December 2nd, and this is the December 2nd Text West Devstream. So, today we are finally going to be getting back to our custom adventure tool sets. After about 2 weeks of not streaming this stuff. So currently, or at the very least, where we were last we started working on this stuff, we left off with interactive objects having their own menu that you can actually view everything from now. But there were still some save issues with it. Deleting objects in that menu, I believe, is not clearing them. So we're going to start off doing that. To give you a sense of where we are, we'll go ahead and play. Once Unity decides to play, of course. You can't rush it. Because that would be rude. You don't want to rush your game engine to do its job. Alright, so we're going to go through here. We're going to go to Extras, Author Mode. We're going to go to Create, select Zork. Alright, so we have a menu for all of our interactions. We can click on them, and we can adjust various information. Pieces about them. But for now, go ahead and close this. I'm going to, well, I already did this before the stream. But if I delete one of these objects, it'll go away temporarily, but it doesn't actually save that it's been deleted. So nothing's really going to change. The next time I load up this adventure, it's going to have that object back, unless I do something that will save the game. So that could be, going to the map and then doing something in the map. That would cause it to save. However, it should instantaneously save. So as soon as you delete it, it should actually call a refresh on the save and tell it to do all that. Mostly so that, there obviously will, if people can do something, then they will. So if it's possible for someone to delete an object and then, stop and then be like, okay, I'm done for the night. I deleted the object I wanted to delete. Then when they come back in the morning, it's still going to be there. Just we got to make sure that we save at appropriate times. So we're going to go ahead and start off by doing that. Go ahead and reload. And we can close our sound manager and music systems. So CG interactions view is the menu we were just looking at. And, oh, you know what? I probably should unmute you. Is the, aha, okay. Making sure that my mic was on. Let's see. Clear interactions, on interaction clicked, on interaction deleted. Let's see, we're going to go to on interaction delete selected. And, oh, you know what, I guess we don't really need to do that, do we? Let's go ahead and do this. So that's also a little bit of an optimization we just did. So what was happening before, regardless of whether or not you confirmed to delete a object you were deleting, in the past, if you said, no, I don't want to delete this, then it would still regenerate all of the buttons, which is wasted effort because nothing will have changed. So by moving this up, we can also make a call to author session dot save custom game. Right? Pretty sure that's the thing we want. Save file path. Yep. Cool. So let's go ahead. That compile, and then we'll go ahead and go back to where we just were, and you'll see that the object is still there. It's still where it was. But this time when we delete it, it should get saved and actually change the save file. So that way when we stop playing and then load it again, it will be correct. Let's go ahead and play. Start here, we'll go to Extras, Author Mode, Create, Zork. Still have a few bits of lag, which is very annoying. Let's go to our interaction. So test parsed object is the object we want to delete. Let's go ahead and delete that. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and go back, and we have to stop playing to really see this effect. So we'll see. It should save after that. God, I wish. one of these days, I really do just got to sit down and figure out what this is. I just don't know what would cause this lag. Besides, I don't know. I don't even know. It just has to be some massive amount of stuff stored in memory. But I don't know what would be doing that. That seems odd to me. Well, at any rate, let's go ahead and take a look at our scripts while we're waiting. Nope, we don't have to though, because I saw it go back. Cool. Let's take another look at that area. And this time the parsed object should be gone because we deleted it. And when we deleted it, we saved afterwards. Let's go to extras, author mode, create, does work. Okay, interactions, and it's gone. Cool. So, the next big thing that we want to do is, do we want to jump over to object interactions yet? That probably wouldn't be a bad idea. So let's go ahead and change some objects. Let's delete you. Let's go to names. We're going to call this something else. So object, we want to call this, let's call it Apple. Let's see. Apple, test custom object, let's go over here. A tasty red apple. Which means that we're going to want to have the adjectives tasty and red. I'm pretty sure that tasty does not have an EY. It seems like it would. It does. It totally does, right? It looks wrong otherwise. Nope. Okay. It is just one. Well, that's good. Me and my terrible spelling. Okay. So that's that. We don't have any verbs for it. So we have an apple. Oh, this is interesting. It doesn't sort them afterwards. I guess that kind of makes sense. Let's go to type and then alphabetical. Yeah. So, that kind of sucks. I guess that means that we'll want to regenerate them every time. Fair enough, fair enough. Let's see. A red test object versus that. So let's go ahead and change this. Its verbs are also gone, which is weird because these objects should generate, I think, with all of their verbs intact, just with nothing set. And I know that, actually, this doesn't really matter, does it? Because we don't have anything for the verbs. But I thought it still listed them. That's all right. Let's see. So let's change its name from test object to, we'll call it, I don't want to call it red object. About what things are red? We already used apple, so can't really do that. Although I guess I could just change this. So, how about crate? No, not crate. It's got to be something that you can. All right. How about belt? It can still be red. We'll say a red belt. Cool. Let's go ahead and close this. Now we do have another. I'm actually not sure if it'll save there. Let's go ahead and go back and let's stop playing. While we're here, on interaction deleted, on interaction clicked. So, oh, that's interesting. We should generate interactions when we close, but maybe it doesn't. That would be interesting. Do we save these? Go to definition. Whenever I close, do I ever call save? I don't. Okay. That's probably not great. So what's happening here is basically, I'm guessing those changes we just made will not actually take effect. So if we go back, they'll still be called test object and just object, because nothing actually told them to save. Let's go ahead and go to start, extras, author mode, create, Zork, interactions. Interesting. So the first one it kept its changes. Yeah, but the second one didn't. Interesting. Huh. Oh, no. It's probably because I sorted by alphabet after I changed the apple. Okay. So that means I actually want to go ahead and stop playing. So on CG interaction view, which is the view specific to an interaction that you can change all of its information on, I feel like on close, I probably should save. So let's go ahead and we're going to go up here. We're going to say private custom game author session. We'll call it author session. Oops, lowercase a. Author session. Then we'll say private custom game author session. Author session. Get return. Author session question mark. Author session. Otherwise, we're going to say author session is equal to global.get custom game author session. Cool. And then down here on close, we will go ahead and just say, oops, not that. Also, I want to make sure that this is okay. So we'll say oops, author session dot save custom game. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and let that compile. So now, no matter what edits we make, no matter where we make them, they will be saved. So that's good. That also covers some potential gaps in our save spots in the map as well. So that should work. But we also need to make sure close callback is getting set. Okay, find no references. Close callback doesn't equal no. Close callback. Oh, I probably should also do this. Close callback is equal to null. It's important that you set callbacks to null when you're caching the callback. Because if you don't, the next time the menu is opened up, if I don't pass a actual callback, then it will break, basically, because it'll try to use the previous callback, which is not what you want most of the time. All right. So that should take care of saving after you make an edit. So now, I guess we're going to have to start thinking about integration into games proper. Oh boy! I don't know if I'm ready for that. That's gonna be a monster undertaking. Work. Okay. So let's see. We have interactions. Let's go ahead and edit this. Info. Belt. Red belt. Okay, close. Interesting. We still don't get sorted as I would expect, which is odd. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Well, just stop playing. And I'm gonna debug to make sure that generate interactions is getting called here. Okay, because I'm not entirely convinced that it is. I feel like if it did, then belt would be in its appropriate spot. So, not sure what's going on there. Let's see. Is there anything else I can do while we're waiting for that to compile? Clear interactions. No, that's all pretty much what I would expect. I guess we could make some optimizations here. So let's go to peak definition. Go to definition here. Yeah, might as well do that real quick. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add private game object cached. We'll just call it cached geo. We'll go up here, public game object cached geo. Get return cached geo question mark cached geo else cached geo is equal to game object. Now you might be wondering why I've done this. It's because anytime you try to access a internal component call like .gameObject or .transform with lowercase t, there's some garbage that Unity generates. So doing it this way will basically save us that garbage every time we access it. So now we can go over here and say recycle cached game object, which I guess I'll go ahead and rename that to cached game instead of cached geo. Let's rename cached game object just so it's a little bit clearer what it is. Okay, let that compile. And then we'll test and see if it's actually going to properly regenerate those buttons. Because my money on, it's not. My money is on, it's not. All right. Let's go ahead and take a shot at this. Oops. Started typing start a little prematurely there. Extras, author mode, create, Zork. All right, interactions. Okay, so it did save the belt. It also didn't sort them. Oh, you know what? That makes sense, right? Because, but it should be automatic, probably. So, yeah. So just out of curiosity, I'm going to go ahead and clear the console. So we'll change our description a little bit. We'll say red belt. It looks well worn. Okay. Okay, so it does generate the buttons, but the problem is that the buttons themselves don't, or generating buttons doesn't tell them to sort. So it's just generating them in order. For us to actually get it to sort, we're going to have to call sort. So that's great. Let's see here. How do we want to do this then? I guess we'll stop playing for one. We'll come back over here. Interaction clicked. Generate interactions. Sorting changed. Yeah. Okay. I guess I would probably want to change. Well, so instead of calling generate interactions like this, it should probably call on sorting changed and then pass the current sorting method, which is going to be fun. So, yeah, that's not great. I really am not a fan of that, but okay. So instead of doing this, what I want to do, delegate. Delegate's going to take nothing, and it's going to call on sorting changed, and then we're going to need to say sorting dropdown dot active value. No, selection. Okay, it's one of these values. Option. Nope. Value. Ha! So if we do this, I think it will resort according to what it should be sorting, or how it should be sorting, and then it should also generate buttons. So if you change a name, it should actually cause it to resort everything, and then everything should look right. But we'll see that in a second. Oh, we probably don't need this generate buttons anymore, because we know that it is happening. Let's go back up here. There you are. You. All right. Yeah, I mean, once we have all this stuff working, I guess the next logical step would be just actual integration into the games. It's just going to be such a nightmare. It's gonna be interesting. I think once we get objects being added to rooms, the only thing we really have left is... Alright. The only thing we really have left after that is room logic, so like a visual scripting system, kind of, as well as... I mean, I guess that would pretty much be it. Maybe one of the things we have to plan for is object swapping, kind of. So, for example, you might have a locked door, and the door itself is blocking... Oh, no, I guess that would be contextual, so never mind. That would be logic. So, one of the things I'm thinking about is hiccups, but also if you're in a room and there's a door to the north, if you type N, you would logically want to go north, but contextually you might not be able to go north if the door is locked. So it'd have to say like the door is locked if you try to go north in those situations, which would be a bunch of like scripting logic that has to be set up. So you wouldn't be able to go north unless that door is unlocked, basically. So you'd be able to set up criteria for navigating around the map. That's something we'll eventually want to do. But in any case, so if we close you, okay, there we go. So now it's sorting every time, which is good. So let's go ahead and go back, and let's go to our map. It's going to be interesting. Let's go to our starting room. Let's go to our list of interactions. We don't have any. That's fine. Let's go to room 2. I believe this does have some. We have test object and apple. Cool. Let's go ahead and let's delete test object. Delete interaction test object from this room. The interaction itself will still exist, but will no longer be interactable in this room. Yes. Okay. Let's go ahead and close. We have a warning. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, the test room has no. That's expected. Let's quit out. Let's go to interactions. So we still have test object. Good. Let's go back. Let's go to our map again. Let's go to room 2. Interactions. Good. That seems to have saved. Let's go ahead and close. Quit. I'm going to stop playing because that's my end-all way of making sure that it's actually going to save it, is stopping playing and then resuming. Eventually, we are going to have to test unloading everything and then loading it back up. And what I mean by that is being able to go between multiple games, custom games, in one play session without having to close TextQuest, the actual app. Obviously, that's something that would be expected, so we're going to eventually get to that. We're not going to do that today, but that's going to be something that I have to figure out at some point. Basically, probably whenever you hit the back button in the custom adventure menu, we'll want to unload everything that you have done so far. Obviously, it's all saved to the save file, but We want to unload everything so that it's not kept in memory and that those objects aren't just floating around and all that fun stuff. All right, so let's go over to extras, author mode, create, Zork. Let's go to our map, room 2, interactions. Haha, sweet. So all that's still working. Cool. So yeah, I guess really the only thing that's left to do is do a play test. Wait, hold on. Does start room not have a... Oh, it doesn't have a room description. That's interesting. I kind of... I kind of wonder if I should automatically list exits. So we could have a room description and after the room description it would say stuff like a door lies to your north. Or no, a door... No, a passage north. Yeah, that would be too weird. Because, I mean, we can do stuff like this. Wow, that's actually pretty bad. I probably should have that be gray or something by default. Having it be pure white is super easy to hide your cursor. So let's go ahead and change you to be blue. Oh, that's green. Something like that. How about you? Go for orange. Confirm. Close. So now we have an orange arrow. Yeah, so I wonder how I would want to do that. So I could... So the problem is that I'm wondering if I should just make users have to say, like, you are standing in a rustic living room. So that would be the room description, right? But should I force users to actually do something like this? Is a, well, is an arch leading to another room. To the south is a door leading to a den. Like that. So should I force people to include this in the description, or should it be automatically listed? So if it's automatically listed, you wouldn't have to enter that. Instead, somewhere over here, you would be able to customize how this exit is listed, as well as logic for it, which is actually something that I know I need to do. So, okay. Yeah, so that's a whole other thing. So let's go ahead and close this for one. Then let's hit play. We're standing in a rustic living room. So let's go north. Second room, take 2. There's our background for the room. And I think we have to go north. Oh, south. Yep, we're back in the starting room. Let's go south. Whoa! What happened? Hold on. Do we have any errors there? No, we don't have any errors. Is it still open? View container. Custom game input. It's not. It just stopped. Whoa. What happened? Okay. Oh, right. Going south is the den. That's the end. I was like, what happened? Okay. That is jarring. That's actually really bad then. I probably should change how that happens. So, wow. Wow, Past Chris, you definitely did not think that through. So what was happening here? When we hit play, we start. No, I guess we'll just go south and immediately. When you hit play, it's going to start you in the green room, which is your starting room. And then if you reach any room at all, so in this case it's den, any room that's highlighted in red, which is an exit room, then the game just immediately ends. And I don't know if that actually should be the case. I kind of feel like it should have specific logic. So, for example, when I reach the den, it should probably, instead of just booting me like it does now, so if I go south, I just get immediately booted. It should probably say something like, so assume I go south, it should probably say something like, congratulations, you beat the game, blah, 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 blah. Give you a little spiel at the end, and then tack on whatever end game thing the developer wants. So in my case, for this, I would assume like score, 5 out of 10 or whatever, which would be however many treasures you've got, or however many turns and all that stuff. So I would like it to show you all of that information, and then at the end, have it say, once all that's done, it could say like type anything to quit. And then once you type anything, it would boot you out instead of booting you out to just play it again. Well, actually, no, it would probably boot you out to basically like this screen, so you could see. Well, I guess I don't actually. Would I want? Yeah, each game would have its own title screen, wouldn't it? Each game needs to have a. We don't have these menus set up yet, although I guess I could try to do that. Would that be a good thing to start right now? No, I'd rather hold off on. I don't want to start designing the menus for the just playing a custom game as opposed to developing it. I don't want to start those menus until I'm basically done with the custom games themselves. That way I know exactly what I need to do. I don't have to add or remove features all the time. I can just do it all in one pass. But for that, we'd probably have. This is for the just playing a game, not customizing one that you're developing yourself. We would probably just have a play game button and then maybe a load game button. So you could select from save files that you've made on that specific game. That's really all we would need. Everything else is kind of extra. There's not really a lot besides those two things that you need. So we just have a play game or new game, load game, and then back button. Probably all we would need. And then we would have the title and then the title image in the background, and some information about the game itself. But in any case, so yeah, we probably want to change that. So how do I want to do that? If I want to do that at all. I guess I can't really do that until I start doing logic for the rooms. So okay. Oh boy. No. Before we do logic, we're going to do one thing, which is when you go to a room with objects, you need to be able to interact with the objects, and it should list the objects. Okay. So let's go ahead and close this. This is going to be really interesting. So we want custom game input view. Is that right? Yep. Custom game input view. Okay. I think we're also going to want to have custom game session. Yep. Let's see. Room info. I believe that's correct. It's still unloading. Okay. We have interactions. Yes. So let's find all references here. Custom game author session. No. Let's look for, what was it, parser settings. This is going to be a larger list than I would like. Yeah, that's not really going to give me much. Let's go up here. Item database, custom. Ah, here we are. Parser commands. We need a direction, move in direction, all that fun stuff. Okay, so let's see now. Move in direction. Got a definition. Yeah, okay. That's all fine. Okay, so we're gonna get our exit info, move in direction. What direction do we want to use? Get exit info. Name, output text, visited rooms, contains, question mark, room name, blah blah blah. Okay. Oh man, this is gonna be super fun. So we're gonna output text here, and then we're also going to go ahead and say, if visited rooms is just an int. It's just an int. Of course it is. Get room background. Nope, nope, nope. But I can get room. So we're gonna want to say if get room exit info dot target. Wait, what? Current room is equal to exit info dot target. Okay, then why don't I just? That's weird. I don't know why I don't just do this here. Okay, so we'll do this. So if get room current room dot interactions dot length, or sorry, dot count is greater than 0, then we're going to go ahead and do for int I equals 0, I is less than, okay, we're going to go ahead and do this. So we're going to want to have list int interaction. Oh, can't call it that. Interactions is equal to get room current room dot interactions. Okay, so it's less than room interactions dot count I plus plus. All right, for that we're going to go ahead and say output text, of course, text. Why are you mad? Oh, you got to be kidding me, really? That's hilarious. I call it output. Well, let's fix that. Output text. And then we're going to go ahead and say get interaction based on an ID, room interactions. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. Room interactions. Room interactions of I dot name. Oh, dot name. Yes. Okay. So with that, we're also going to go ahead and say, before we even do that, we're going to go ahead and say output text the room. Wow. Now how about UC? Okay. I think that's good. Oh boy. Let me think. Is it interactive object utility dot? I thought I had a function. It's like get article. Yep, there it is. Get article. Okay. Ah, dang it. All right. I wanted to avoid this, but I don't think I can really. Interactive object io is equal to that. io.name get article io.name names of 0 actually is what I need to do there. Oh, sorry. And then plus this. Plus. Okay. That should work. So let's see it. Oh, and actually, you know what? Hold on. Should I? Yeah. Okay. So this is just listing them currently. It's not actually letting you interact with them. So it's actually good that I did this. Because now I can do parser dot set interacted objects. That's crap because that's not actually going to do it. I don't think. Unless I can do parser dot add interactive. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and comment that out for now, but I'm pretty sure that if we do this, it actually hard sets it. Well, I could be wrong. Maybe it's not. Let's do debug. If not interaction. Oh, cool. Nope. It just adds it. Nice. Never mind. Don't have to worry about it. Cool. And then once we do that, we're probably going to want to have like a... Does room info have any useful functions? Not really. No, this is just data. We shouldn't have data handle functionality. Okay. Thinking. Basically, I wanted to have like a nice cleanup function that I could call that would basically just remove all of the objects in the current room. I guess I can do that. This is a custom game session. Let's go ahead and add like a public void cleanup current room. So we do something like this. And then if info.interactions.count is greater than 0, then let's see, we'll want to do a couple of things. First off, we'll want to do for int I equals 0, I is less than info.interactions.count I plus plus. We're going to say parser.remove interacted objects info. Get interaction info.interactions of I. Okay. And we will also want to recycle that object, probably? Yes. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't. So let's go ahead and do the same thing we did before. Let's get rid of you. We'll just say IO here. Interactive object IO is equal to this. Then we'll say pool manager dot recycle IO dot game object. Okay. That's pretty much all I really care about here. So we set our interactive objects and then we clean them up. So here I'm going to go ahead and say clean up current room, I guess. So that's not really going to do much right now, but it should properly cycle the interactive objects at the very least. So let's see what we can get. This is going to get exponentially weirder as we start doing stuff like this. Because we need to have custom descriptions for when the object has initially been placed, which is basically when you walk into a room for the first time, and let's say there's a rusty axe on the wall. You'll probably want to have a description for the object that says, like, a rusty axe hangs ominously from the wall, or on the wall. And when you pick up the axe, if you drop the axe in the same room, the next time you come in the room, it shouldn't say, a rusty axe hangs ominously on the wall. Instead, it should say, you walk into an armory, and then, you see a rusty axe. So I gotta allow for that sort of variation on content. But this, what we have currently, it won't allow for those custom sort of explanations of an object for the initial interaction with it. So that's something that we're going to have to work with. Let's go to map. Let's go ahead and just play. Okay, so I'm going to go north. Frack. Well, that didn't work. Great. What? Also, I see you trying to not stop playing. Okay. Out of curiosity, this is why I kept these things open. Take a look at this. So, right, there it is. Okay. So this has extra interactions that don't exist. Which probably means that I need to make sure that, the object isn't empty. So we're going to go ahead and say if IO does not equal null, then we'll do a bunch of stuff. We will, let's see, clean up current room. Oh, that was that one. Fair enough. Fair enough. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. So that should help with that. Although more, I kind of wonder, So the problem is that I didn't tell the rooms to basically clear out the interactive objects that I deleted. And you might think that that's not a bad thing, but actually it's pretty bad because, one, things like that can happen where if I'm not careful, a null object might sneak in somewhere. But two, it means that I can delete an object which frees up its ID because the way the ID system works, I'm working on incremental integers starting at 10 and going up by 1 for each unique object. But when I delete an object, its ID gets freed up to be used again. So if I have, 10 objects, so that would be IDs 11 through 20, or 21, I guess, and I delete the third object, that would free up ID 13. So the next time I make an object, it won't be ID 22, it would be ID 13. But if I don't clear out the existing references to the old object that was ID'd at 13, then the next time I go into a room, it's going to try and use the new object that's ID'd at 13. So that's not great. Let's go to extras, author mode, create, Zork. So that's problematic. And this won't solve it, but this should at least... oh, right, I went south. I didn't want to do south. I wanted to go north. Room 2, the second room, take 2. You see an apple. Of course, it's not capitalized. I probably should pass that as a variable. But we can actually see everything. So if let's see if we can do this. Examine apple. I can't do that, but that's fine. So now if I go south, What? That's interesting. It seems to think that I have. Oh, right. That's fair. But now, if I try to examine Apple, I don't see an apple around here. Yes, cool. Uh, so the you can't do that stuff. That is because all of our objects, I'm guessing, don't have verbs. If we go up to our pool manager, custom game basic interaction pool. Wow, there are a lot of those. Uh, in fact, there are way more than there are. There are a ton of them. They should be recycled. This is particularly jarring. However, we can look at our verbs and you can see that we don't have any verbs right now. Wow, that's weird. Okay. um, huh. I don't really know what to do about that. I don't know why they're spawning multiple times. Um, let's go ahead and stop playing. Unless I request them, like, every time? That would be weird. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know what would cause that. Alright, well, at the very least, I could try to take a look at that. Also, this is rather strange. How... Oh, right. The current rooms thing. So I think... Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to have a function that, like, cleans up rooms. Um, That's actually not gonna be in this, though. It's gonna be part of custom game author session. Custom game author session. And the reason it's part of author session and not custom game session is because there's not going to be an instance where the base custom game session class ever needs to flush the ID associations, because that's only something that can happen in a situation where you're adding or removing IDs, which can't happen in a regular game. That can only happen when you're creating games. So let's see, get node color, get connection info, generate room ID, generate variable ID, generate interaction ID, room position, set start room, end room, remove end room, set room position, clear room positions, get room index, new room. Okay. I guess I'm going to go ahead and go up here. I'm going to say public void clean up room interactions. I'm going to start commenting these two so that I know what they do. Removes references to interaction IDs that no longer exist. So this is going to be fun because we're going to need to say for int I equals 0, I is less than room info, or do I want to do interactions? No, it's room info. Dot count I plus plus. All right, so we're going to say if room info of I. Wait, what? What the heck is room info? Is that current room info then? No, that's fine. Dot interactions dot count is greater than 0, because we don't need to look through it if it's less than that. If it's greater than 0, then we're going to want to do another for loop. So for int j equals 0, j is less than room info of I dot interactions of j. Oh, sorry, just dot interactions dot count j plus plus. Then we're going to say if room info of I dot interactions of j. Hold on. So I think we're going to want to say if interactions, I believe, is that Yep. Oh, no. Crud. Okay. Oh, no. So we're going to say interactions dot has contains key. There we go. So if it does not contain that key, then we're going to remove it. So we're going to say, oh, and I need to do this backwards. So this is actually going to be whoop, count -1. J is greater than or equal to 0. Then J minus minus. Okay. Then if our interactions does not contain that key, then we're going to go ahead and say interactions of I dot. Sorry, not that. We're going to say room info of I dot interactions dot remove at J. Okay. Now, with that, we're going to need to figure out when we want to call that, which is probably going to be, let's see. So in CG interactions view, whenever we delete an interaction, we need to do that. So on interaction deleted. Let's see. Go down here. So before we do save custom game, we're going to go ahead and do author session. Oops. Author session dot clean up room interactions. Okay. And delete interactions also removes that. Yes? Okay, good. Oh, that might have been our problem. By the way, I don't think it's recycling the object. Let me go ahead and go to definition here. So I'm going to want to do this. Pool manager dot recycle interactions of ID. Cat. Seriously. Alright, cat was crawling on the keyboard. Alright. Recycle dot game object. Okay. So that should work, and then we can remove it. So that might have been attributed to our problem. Because I'm kind of wondering, let's find all references here. Really? Then okay, well then that's not right. These are not the correct interactions. That means that something else is hosting those. Let's see. Actually, no, that's correct. Yes, but that does mean that it's not recycling the object, which makes sense. Okay, so actually I do want to do that then. But then when is add interactions done? I feel like that means that I have to be like adding. So hold on, add connection count, remove room, add variable, remove sort variables, add new interaction. Oh, we just add it directly. Okay. Then yes, we want to recycle it when we're done. All right, that's fair. But do we though? Hold on. Let's find all references here. Okay. I don't know what the add interaction and delete interaction in custom game session are really doing. So I feel as though we can get rid of them. Because I don't really know. Yeah, that'd be confusing otherwise, because you'd have things swapping IDs mid-game, so that's not something that we can do. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and I'm gonna move delete interaction to our custom game author session. We'll do this here. Then we will go ahead and say remove plus. Oh, hello, Anthony. Welcome back. How you doing today? Also, I hope that your comment hasn't been there for too long. Sorry, I've been ignoring chat. It's been kind of quiet today. Probably because it's the first time I streamed on the weekend in like 2 weeks. Okay, so we want to actually go ahead and say remove. But before that, we want to actually go ahead and say pool manager dot recycle interactions of ID dot game object. All right, so that should help with that. And now, when we go back to CD interactions view, we're going to call cleanup room interactions. So anytime an object is deleted, which is pretty much only here, do we want to do that? I feel like I may also go ahead and do this when, what is it, custom game. I always forget it. It's like main. It's like classic main, because I need to just rename it. Well, alright. Hold on. I'll just see what back does here. Oh, it does nothing because fine. Final references, classic create view. Yeah. All right. So let's see. On save click. I don't want to do it on awake. I guess I really shouldn't do it on open either. Dang it. I was going to do it as like a safety thing and force it to like to clean up everything the first time you open it, but I don't really have a good time for that to happen. I think this happens multiple times, and I would really prefer not to do it that way. So, yeah, it's not ideal. Yeah, right there, because we just parse it back. Okay. Then not the end of the world. Because really, this sort of thing only will affect me. It won't affect anyone else. And now that I've added that cleanup function to the actual delete process, it should just catch it all the time. The only problem is, the reason I wanted to do it on open is because maybe someone, I don't know why they would do this, but it could be possible, they would manually delete the object from here somehow, so like actually go into the file and manually erase it. That's possible. People could do that. I don't know why they would, but they could. So I feel like I should have a validation function happen here just in case. So in that case, I guess we're going to go ahead and do it here. Author session dot cleanup room interactions. So when we do that, we should actually see this starting, or this second room, basically get wiped of everything except the apple, because that's the only one that actually exists still. All right. We'll go ahead and clear everything out. Play. So this should give us object interactions as well as accurate object listing. So start, extras, author mode, create. We're going to go to Zork. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and say here, reload. Yep. Victory! Let's go to our map. Let's hit play. We're standing in a rustic living room. We want to go north. We want to go south. Nice. So cool. Oh crap! We forgot to change the in-apple part. Got to do that real quick. So that fixes our cleanup problem. The fact that objects were being referenced that were deleted still. What else do we want to do with that? Suppose we can go ahead and stop playing. Let's go back to custom game session. All interaction IDs. Load background ambience. Let's see. Huh. Interesting. Get room ambience. No. Background. Room background. Get room. No. Check input. Receive input. Output text. Here we are. Move in direction. Let's see. So I guess if I have a clean up current room, maybe I should have just like a populate current room. That might be preferable. Maybe. I don't know. But in any case, yeah, so I want to say plural is equal to false and capitalized is equal to true. So it'll return capital A instead of lowercase a. That fixes that problem. But I do kind of wonder if I should have a like initialize current room. It seems like that would be better than having this stuff be randomly in move in direction. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Public void initialize current room. So we'll hold on, let me think. So yeah, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this up to here. And we'll say initialize current room. Visited rooms, that contains all that fun stuff. Update background sprite. That should probably be done. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. That should probably be done here. Okay. And I kind of feel like this should also be done here. So we'll go ahead and add that here. Instead of exit info.target, we'll say current room. Paste this in. Cool. Yeah, that simplifies our code quite a bit here, so I'm fine with that. Let's see. I don't really want. Well, I could do stuff like this. I feel like there's a small gap that I need for our wonderful UC stuff. Although I'm a little surprised that that doesn't automatically. All right. Maybe I should do something like this. Cached input view dot output add. Oh, okay. I thought I had a like space. Nope. Well, that's fair. So, yeah, this is fine. I'll just add a artificial padding there. All right. So let that compile, and we're gonna turn off maximize on play because I want to keep an eye on our hierarchy to make sure that we're not spawning in an infinite number of objects again. I have no idea what was going on there. It was very weird. Let's go ahead and clear this. Play. See what happens. I don't know what this stuff is, the missing script on this behavior. There's, like, it's game object nothing, which makes me think that it's like an initialization thing. So start, we're going to go to extras, author mode, create, Zork. All right, let's go to pool manager over here, basic interaction. Okay, I think we're good. So we should have Apple, belt, object, object test, and then test object. Yep. So, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go to interactions. Okay, everything's there. We have 5. Let's go back. Let's go to our map. And that's where they come from. Okay. That's interesting. So does that just happen every single time? Oh, it also happens there. Really? Huh. And it's just going to keep going, huh? Okay. Okay, huh. Well, if it isn't my favorite pervy live streamer. Okay, just because I might have used some very suggestive language on one stream doesn't mean anything. How are you doing today, Cooler? So, yeah, there are just too many of these things, and I don't exactly know what's calling them in. I don't know what's spawning them. But I do know that it's duplicating. So it's doing everything, yep, in our 5 sequence. So, interesting. Whatever it is has to be requesting it from the pool, because they are pooled objects. It has to do with the map, which makes me think that there's something in custom author session that's instantiating them. Sure, one stream. And I still cough because I sound like I'm dying. So what are we doing this evening? So we are working on custom adventures, which obviously I'm trying to stop playing, so it's going to take forever. So we're working on custom adventure stuff. Specifically, we're working on getting custom adventure interactions to actually function in-game. So we're at a point where you can playtest your game and go to different rooms in the game by going into an ending room, as well as currently you can actually interact with objects in their given room. So if we walk into a room containing an apple, then you can interact with the apple as long as you're in that room. The next thing that we're trying to do right now is, as you saw, we were getting a bunch of duplicate objects spawning in, which we don't need, and I don't know where they're coming from, so we're going to get rid of that. But yeah, long story short, working on custom adventure stuff today. So let's see here. Let's see where else request is being done here. Really? Okay. How about in here? Also, get interaction isn't doing anything, is it? Nope. Okay. Okay. Well, I really didn't want to do this, but we're gonna... Really? Those are all of the times that I actually do request? Huh. Alright, well, fair enough. Oh, load interactions might do it. Would it though? That doesn't seem right. So containers, item, yeah. I mean, it would have to be here, load interaction. Let's find all references here. That's being done in from JSON. Then, yeah, I don't really know why that would happen. Sounds very custom. Yeah, well, I think custom adventure is the term I've settled on. Because before I was saying like custom text-based adventures, but that was redundant, kind of. Well, not really redundant, but didn't need to be mentioned specifically. And saying custom game, or was it custom created content, is way too long, too much of a mouthful. So custom adventure seems a nice happy medium there. But in any case, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see, I need in-room, turn limit, blah, 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 blah. So let's go back here. Well, I guess I could also check this. Where are you being referenced? Custom game from JSON. It's done in load game data, which should only be done once, I thought. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. That would do it. Aha! Okay. Let's go to definition here. From JSON, go to definition. So that's our problem. Load interactions. Go to definition. I don't know. Let's see. A mouthful of words. That's what it is. That's what I like. Although that sounds even more unwieldy. Okay, so we're loading all of our interactions, but I don't... Maybe... No, that wouldn't make sense. Maybe I should only do this if interactions is empty. So I should say if interactions.count is equal to 0, we should do this. That would make sense. Because every time we dynamically add them through our custom game author session, we don't use this method, so this wouldn't be affected by it. And yeah, that should work in theory. So let's go ahead and try that. Save this out. So this time when we open up the map menu, we shouldn't have any extra interactive objects get spawned in. All right. Let's give this a shot, see what happens. Okay, we're also going to keep the play area minimized for now. Let's go to extras, author mode, create, Zork. Okay, so pool manager, we should have the 5. Yep, let's go to the map. Well, that didn't work. Did it not save? Or does that mean they're getting spawned in some other way? Oh, right there. I clear them. Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Because I was an idiot. So that means I actually want to go ahead and do. God, why would I want to do it this way? That's so inefficient. Okay. That's alright, fine, we'll do it. We'll see if this is going to be a huge performance impact. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. I feel like it will. There's no point. Alright. Maybe I should just do this. No, that wouldn't. No, that wouldn't do it. Let's just do this. I'm going to comment this out for now. So we're not going to clear our interactions like we normally would. That was a safety measure that I normally do for anytime I generate a list. However, I wasn't properly recycling them before I generated them, and then this check here, if interactions.count is equal to 0, that would always be true because immediately before that I was clearing it. So yes, I am 100% an idiot there. So this should fix that problem, and we'll see if now we still get the spawning problems. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Extras, author mode, create, Zork. All right. Let's open up our pool manager, basic interactions. We have the 5. Nice. Let's quit out. 5. Haha! Cool. So that's all working. And now, if we play... Oh, come on! Dang it. Something else must have wiped it and then started it again. So you can see that we do have some duplicates here, but if we go north, let's see that we can interact with an apple. So I'm going to say examine apple. Can't do that because the apple is currently not set up, but I can at least interact with it. Oh, that's interesting. The start room, that doesn't seem right. Does the start room have a background? No. Room 2 does, but the start room doesn't. Interesting. So when we go north here, we should see a background, but we're not, which makes me think that it's doing something wrong. Okay. Give me a second, give me a second, give me a second here. I think I know what's happening. I think I know what's happening. Let's see. Okay, you need to hire me to fix your code. But then I wouldn't have the satisfaction of fixing my own code. And that's one of the best highs that a programmer can get. Alright. So we want refresh. Where are you? Load interactions. It's all the way up at the top. Right. Alright. Went right past it. Here we are. Initialize current room. So this is... What's funny is we set the current room, so why would it be incorrect? Get room is equal to current room. Current room is equal to exit info.target. Initialize current room. So we get our current room again, like we would expect. Current room. Yeah, that's odd. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and debug.log info.room name, so I know exactly what room it thinks that I'm setting up. Yeah, we're getting to the super fun part of development where it's like any one of a number of possible things is happening. Oh, right, and you know what? While we're here, let's look at our interactions because we want to make sure that we don't accidentally load in duplicates again. So where are you? Interactions. Here we are. Find all references. I have to clear it somewhere. Here you are. Sort interactions by name. Okay, well that's one of the things. But then I immediately rebuild it, so that's not terrible. Why do I do that? That seems pointless. That seems really pointless. Whatever. Actually, is there a point to this? Why would I care about that? No, I shouldn't. Interactions.net. Huh. Okay. Weird. So the sort interactions by name is pointless for my interactions, the dictionary, because that's a dictionary. You can't iterate through that via index. You have to do it with a known index. Why would I clear it and rebuild it? That seems like pointless effort. And it kind of is, I feel. I'm going to comment this out because I don't think I need it. New interactions being sorted is all fine and dandy by itself. So I don't see a reason to rebuild the freaking dictionary. That's weird. I don't know why I did it that way. That's very strange. Okay, how about you? Sort interactions by type. And again, I don't really know why we're doing this. Okay. It would seem kind of pointless for us to do this part again as well. So I feel like we can just do that. So that couldn't have been it, except it totally might have been. This is so weird. Okay, something has to be getting and spawning them in independent of that then. Interesting. At least that's my theory. So let's go ahead and let that compile, and then I'm going to try to do a couple of things that should force it to resort. And I want to make sure that everything gets saved the way I would expect. Particularly strange. Okay, we're going to keep... Hold on. We're going to keep the play area minimized, so that I can make sure that everything's being properly set up. Let's sort by type, sort by alphabetical. We're not really going to get much information there. We're going to go ahead and add a new interaction just to test it. Let's see. Info, an item. We'll call this chair. How about axe? A rusty axe. Rusty. We'll add that. No verbs on it. That's all fine. Let's hit close. Okay. So let's go to type. All right. Fair enough. I guess I did have a reason to rebuild them. Well, then let's go ahead and comment that. Let's see. Directions not clear. Oh, right. Custom game session, load interactions is what we want. Somewhere around here. No, hold on. It wasn't you, it's here. Yeah. That's so weird. But sure, why not? Alright. Whatever works, I guess. I must iterate. Weird. Weird. Well, either way. That's still clearly not correct. Generate interaction ID. Okay. Interactions that contains. If interactions, remove that. Okay, fair enough. Add new interaction. Okay, we do so. Parse basic interaction template.text. That's all fine. Because these aren't basic. We are specifically getting something that is wanting us to spawn one in. Sort interactions by name. I don't think it's that. Or anything particularly to do with that. So, sort interactions by type, same thing. Get rid of you, custom game session. Get interaction, okay. Return interactions, okay. For each, we add that. That's fine. Okay, for each interactions.count is equal to 0. If that's the case, then we're going to actually spawn everything in again. I mean, is that really it? Okay. Nope, this is the JSON. Okay. Well, then we're just going to go ahead and put a debug in here. Debug.log test. Or how about duplicate spawn? Alright. I get the feeling that that's somehow being called again. And we're going to find out where. And if something is clearing it before then. Ugh. Excuse me. Alright. Let's clear all this fun stuff. Okay, we're going to keep the area minimized for now. Author mode, create, Zork. Manager, basic interaction pool. Okay, let's go ahead and just jump straight into testing. Duplicate spawn and duplicate spawn. Stop playing. So we're looking at 433, which is where the actual log is. That's fair. Then we also have custom game session 487. Load interactions. So this is doing from JSON. Okay. And before that, we have custom game session 118. From JSON. Before that, we have classic create view 163, which I'm guessing is actually just the button. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to definition. So. Interesting. So from JSON must be clearing them then. Interactions. Load interactions. I mean, but it doesn't. Like nothing. Go to definition. Interactions.count has to be equal to 0 though, otherwise it's not going to do it. Which must mean that interactions is being cleared at some point. But I don't know where. It's not going to be here. Not going to be here. Do I have like interactions not remove? Delete interaction, yes. But that's only being called in the one place. So find all. It has to be something inside of custom game session. Like not custom game author session, but it's custom game session. Contains key. Return. Contains key for each. Add. That's not how this works. It's not what I care about. Interaction IDs. How could it be set to 0? And I mean, nothing stands out as weird to me. Harumph. This is very annoying. Because we're adding it here. I just... Alright, well, we know that it has something to do with playing. So let's just go through the steps. And we know that it duplicates spawns. Like, it happens twice. We know it. Which means that at some point, so load interactions, let's find all references. There's just the one place, which is called from JSON. Okay. Let's see where this is used. Custom game author session from JSON. That's fair. And then base from JSON. Well, or load game data. Excuse me. So, I'm confused. If that's the case, why doesn't it happen when we open the map? It only happens on play. Is it because it's grabbing the wrong one? Oh, that could be it, actually. That might be it. So let's go to... Oh, that would suck so hard. Damn it. Okay. So, author mode, create, Zork. So, you'll notice that we only have 5 right now. Or 6, right? Because we have 6 now. So if I go to map, nothing happens. If I quit, if I jump around, nothing happens. But when I do test game, I don't get the author session. I get the regular game session. Or the regular custom game session, not the custom game author session. And when that happens, the custom game session does not have the same parameters that the custom game author session has. So if we go to our global object, we have both of those things. We have custom game session, which has nothing in it right now. And we have custom game author session, which actually has everything populated. So that's our problem. Our problem is that the object that it's trying to use is the wrong session. That sucks. So that's not a hard fix. It's just a tedious one because I need to change everything from every reference to custom game session to custom game author session. Yay! Find references. So classic create view. Yep. I mean, I might as well just change this to actually just say author session. I don't see any reason why not. So that will... Yep. Let's find all references to see where that all is being used. Yep. Yep. And parser commands, move in direction. Oh, that is not great. That is actually pretty bad. Frack. Ah, frack so hard. Okay. Crap. Custom game input view. Right. That's fair. So that's problematic. Yeah, that's really problematic. I mean, I could always just delete it. Like make this base one go away by doing that. That's just I don't. So I mean, I separated them into 2 separate objects because there wasn't really a need for the regular custom games or for the author session to be active when you're just playing a game. But I guess it's going to cause complications if I do that. So having a regular one is fine. I can still separate the functionality up if I want. I just either way, let's just see what this looks like. If I disable that object and hit play, I'm curious if it'll actually function as expected. Mode, create, Zork. So let's hit play. Okay, so it seems to work. And I'm guessing we don't have the extra key or the extra objects. Yep. So that was the problem. The problem was that it was using a game or an object that was not referencing anything. So every time we tried to populate data, it just generated new objects. Oops. Still, that also makes me think. So if we go north this time, oh dear. Interesting. Huh. So it thinks we're in room 2 right now, and then if I go north, it thinks we're in the start room. That's weird. Because we explicitly said it. Huh. That is really weird. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Stop playing. So for some reason, this is really weird, right? Like I'm not the only one who thinks this is strange. We explicitly set current room to be whatever our exit target is. And somehow that's wrong. So we're going to go ahead and debug.log current room plus exit info.target. So we're going to debug the two of these to make sure that they're the same. And then down here, we're going to basically say debug.log current room. We're just going to see if that's even remotely correct. It's clearly not, but I want to see if it's getting set at all. I've never seen that. I've never seen an integer that's not in a for loop lose its scope like that. It's weird. Huh. So let's see what that does. Okay, start. Author mode, Zork. Map. Play. So we're going to go north. Okay, now if we go... Wait, hold on. Timeout. What? Oh. We're still... Okay. So that's not actually going to give me useful information. I need to... Because I was cleaning up current room there. So that's why it was wrong. Let's go ahead and get rid of these. Remove them up here. Also, I'm just going to go ahead and create a freaking room info. Room info. Info is equal to get. Do get current room? Nope. Get room. Current room. Okay. We'll go ahead and debug. Yeah. Plus info dot room name. Alright, I'm going to change all of the get room stuff to just be room or info. shorten up our code a little bit, and there's no sense in us constantly getting the current room. Interactions. All that stuff should work a little bit better now. Alright. Let's see what happens. That is still weird, though. I really don't know what would cause such a weird thing. Alright. Let's clear this out. Hit play. Oh, you know what? We can go ahead and maximize on play now, because we don't care about the pool manager stuff. Extras, author mode, create, Zork. Let's test this out. We want to go north. Then we want to go south. But why are you loading the wrong background? So they're correct. But what the heck? Oh, it's because I was doing cleanup. Duh. It's because I moved this to the wrong thing. Duh. That is our problem. That would do it. So the problem was that I was setting the background image on room cleanup, not on room initialize. So that would cause problems. That would explain why we were getting the delayed effect. So now it should be correct, which means that as of right now, you can interact with objects in their given rooms. You can navigate between those rooms and get the correct background and presumably audio, although that's not fully hooked up yet. And you can only interact with objects if you are in the same room as them. So that's good. That might be a pretty good place to stop for the day, once we give this one more quick test run to make sure everything's good. Okay, so let's go up here. We're going to go north. Let's get some screenshots. We're going to say examine apple. Another screenshot. Let's go back down south. Eat apple. Cool. So it is appropriately scoping to the rooms. We're getting the correct backgrounds again. So, yeah. I think that's probably a pretty good place to leave off today. I know it's a little early for Saturday, but I have a couple of things that I need to take care of before it gets too late into the evening. So I think that's a pretty good place to stop for the day. Quick announcement, I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. I have a family thing during my normal Devstream time. So no Devstream on Sunday. We'll be back Devstreaming at our normal time on Tuesday this week. So as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I guess I'll stop playing real quick. And I'll see you all next time.